Hi, Brenda Luther here. This video is about evidence-based practice. Obviously, that's our course. But we want to look at the differences and similarities in another very similar practice, research and quality improvement, which you've all experienced that, you understand that content, and now it's a great time to just kind of compare and contrast. EBP is really how we implement evidence into practice. QI evaluates outcomes, evaluates evidence, sets up practice changes, and research creates that evidence. So remember, we're focused over here in this first column where we're going to analyze existing data. We're going to rank that data, and we're going to answer, make a practice guideline, answer a clinical question. Whereas we're not doing QI and we're not doing research. QI is obviously traditionally hospital-based, where teams come together to evaluate evidence and implement practice changes. So, Brenda, why isn't that similar to evidence-based practice? Well, hopefully I'll show you how that is through a few of these slides here. I took this slide from Melnick, and I really like it because it kind of shows the overlap. Now, Melnick often talks about evidence-based QI projects. And so there is an overlap of research because they're gathering data just like researchers gather data. You can distinguish research and EBPI a little bit in this diagram, but let's look at a few more pieces of it. So evidence is about promoting practice that's based on knowledge, evidence. Nursing practice relies on these three things, or all healthcare practices do, to make our change and our process recommendations. EBP, EBPQI, and research all together bring us that, and they all benefit patient care. Research has rigor in that they control their samples, they control the settings, they do a tight control of all the variables, and they must have IRB approval. They also must have informed consent, and generally they're funded by outside sources outside of our hospital, whereas QI protocols are less formal. They don't have to have IRB approval all the time. They can get an exemption for it. But this is where the gray area of ethics kind of lie in there with QI and EBP. We're just now starting to examine that while the processes are different in our minds, maybe they don't look any different to our patients' minds or to other stakeholders. So it's good to look at what these processes are separately and overlay the ethics of each of the processes. So when is an EBQI a project or research? There definitely is overlap because we are testing, we are evaluating, we are systematic investigators of it. The clear differences aren't always that visible. So this is the time where you reach out to your ethics panels and present, we're doing this evidence-based QI project. Do you think it's original research or not? Research typically focuses on answers that are not known, and EBPI is typically bringing known answers into our practice. So using our ethics panels really helps us answer these questions. Let's look for a bit about what are the basic ethics of a QI project or research in general. You're going to be doing an ethical review of research in this module with the CITI or the NLN modules that you can go through, and you're going to investigate more of these components. But one of the things we don't often ask is it's an ethical responsibility that what we do in QI, EBQI, or research be worthy of doing. Not only worthy of doing for the human subjects that are a part of it, our clients, but also the resources. And resources are ourself and our time, as well as other resources that may come into play. So is it worthy of doing this? Is really an ethical consideration that's important to consider. Is it scientifically valid? Are we really using valid processes of research? Are the subjects fairly selected? And subjects, maybe us, as nurses or healthcare providers. The risk-benefit ratio we're more comfortable looking at, is the risk of doing this outweighed by the benefits. And the other part is to open it up to anybody that could review it, and that includes our clients as well as other practitioners. that we have respect for everybody that comes into the process, being QI or research, and that we consider informed consent. Informed consent's really a mandatory in all research, but is it an evidence-based practice? Well, it could be, and one of the discussions in this module is a real interesting exploration of informed consent and all the fallout that came from really what was an evidence-based practice initiative, but yet lacked informed consent. So you're going to see this content again. You will be gathering evidence in all your courses to make your scholarly argument. You'll have an in-depth quality improvement course. You'll also have a leadership course that is going to talk about leading positive healthcare change. And in your further degrees, you're going to move on to investigate research, and you're going to continue to develop your ability to present scholarly presentations based on evidence. So thanks for quickly clicking and opening this video. Look forward to seeing you in more of them.